Hi friends, my name is Dante and welcome back to the Outlandish Curiosity. So, we're back with the pages that I managed to recover after I lost them, for some reason, on my external hard drive. So that was a scary night. Now, let's start with this first page, or first two pages, and turn them into colors. Now, I remember Kevin said that he decided that the text will only be on the top left, so we don't need this block on the bottom right. But for now, let's actually create the texture for the paper. I think the best idea would be to start with creating a special brush that would make it very easy to create randomized every time new paper in the easiest way. So let's start with one of my messy brushes. Where do I have my... I think they're called junkers. Yeah, there they are. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, this is interesting. An interesting combo, although kind of too much of the photo texture. Okay, I think this way it only uses the basic feel of the texture, but in the end when we'll be doing the actual full paper composition, it's not gonna be popping out all that much. So good enough, let's start. Let's give this brush a try. Made the bleed area darker so it would kind of blend with the area beyond the working one, because I really shouldn't count on what's going on inside of the bleeds. Okay, I think this is more than enough for the background. This is gonna be a 2-page spread, so there's gonna be painting like all over it anyway. So let's put actual text in. Kevin prepared already a probably final version of the text for this page. Okay, probably like this. Might be a bunch of different settings required for this, like the spacing between the lines and everything. Well, I think I made it kind of nice. But anyway, any kind of changes at this point won't really affect too much of the composition, so let's start painting. So this brush is pretty good to place basic initial spots on the composition as well. Let's keep using it. Like for the beginning, for the base, as we're deciding on the basic color spots composition and everything. Okay, seems like a nice gamma. I'm trying to wash away the colors and the intensity of the graphics closer to the edges and closer to the text of the image. So basically, we'll have sharp, strong shadows in this area, and probably like the totem specifically, and then sort of like this spot. And everything else would be, well, more detailed than this, but still kind of slightly fuzzier, but a lot less contrast on the shadows. Now, the biggest mystery here is what the totem looks like, so let's build the totem. So, here's the subject. A long vertical thing with kind of a face on top with decor. And there's a certain glowing going on close to the eyes. I remember Kevin said that. In the eyes of nature. That's why we're using this evening, close to dark time of the day in the scene. It's so we could make the eyes glow a bit, in the shadow area at least. It might look pretty cool if I don't mess it up. Okay, let's start. So the base is just the stone, and the colors on the sketch, there's a note, they're not like actual colors, it's just to separate the areas. Okay, so we're designing the color as well. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, let's build up something. A statue of Kenny from South Park. So far getting something like that. Okay, I want to move it a bit closer now. So basic geometry is kind of marked in. Let's move on with colors. Now let's think. Roots of connection. And they are connecting the antlers of Aurora. I feel like Aurora antlers should be kind of blue. And roots of connection would look good if they're kind of like golden, but a bit closer to red than just golden. Let's see. The base is stone anyway, I assume, but we're not obligated to keep it just gray. Now, roots of connection. Let's do those golden things. Like this. Closer to copper. Okay, let's do the venerated bone facade. Okay, that's white, right? Oh, so this is not just a weird shape, that's a skull right there. Ooh. Right, because the people... Trebus wear the skulls, so this is their totem. And yeah, that makes sense. That is also wearing a mask. Ooh, this is gonna look cool. Oh my god, this is so much fun, I don't know why. Like, painting this totem in a basic angle like this would be cool, but so not this. Because I'm like painting and I'm immediately putting it into the story. And that's such a different thing. I always look at different artwork of cool concept artists all over the internet. The ones that are like creating actual just characters and that's it, just concepts. No story, no nothing. And I like watching those. There's really beautiful artwork out there, but I always felt bad for them, like they don't know what they're missing out on. They never paint a story. Like, you do paint a background story of a character, because without a background you won't be able to create any character. There's still supposed to be a story told in the look of a character itself. But still, that's not the same. Okay, Kevin said it should be like a candlelight. So kind of like more warm than the sunlight, and it's gonna be just a tiny glow in here, I suppose. Let's make a higher contrast on the shadows around this area. Okay, let's add, or like mark in, the candlelight. Okay, Wrath of Cutting Truth. Probably green, but let's... Well, it's not necessary to choose a different tint of green, because this is a good place for green, because nothing around it is green. I mean, I'm thinking about the color composition so it wouldn't blend with everything else. Probably a little bit of candlelight going on in here as well. Not forgetting the twirly things. I wonder if it's a good idea at all. I think why not. Right, I forgot about the wreath. So green. Green wreath. Let's do this. This looks like a totem now. Okay, I can see I messed up the shading of the cylinder here. It looks kind of flat and lame. Let's fix that. I felt like something was wrong. Forgot about the perspective guidelines. The geometry was very much off. This is way better. Oh yes. Can you feel the speed of this liquefy? Fixing up some geometry, so all the cylinders would look like we mean it. Okay, so we kind of finished the whole thing on the totem area. Maybe a couple of fixes here and there, but mostly done with that part. And right now we're working on the shore, and the boat, and Gilbert. So let's put some sharper details on the sand, and the Hillstrom crabs on their grassy spines. Backs, I'm sorry. And pick up our concept of Gilbert, and look up some boats to make sure it looks legit. So let's do that. Let's maybe make some kind of tiny footsteps or claw steps from the crabs all over the place, like tiny ones. So it would give us a hint that these green spots are not so simple. Did some extra something on the totem. Looks nicer now. Okay, so the shore is cool. Now the only thing that's left is the boat, basically. And that thing that I'm fixing right now. This is a good shot. It's a completely different boat, of course. We want something more of a wooden, simple... Well, not super simple, but, you know. But yeah, a bunch of stuff with the sticks. I don't know anything about boats. She's having a good time. Alone. So, steering wheels on the boats are usually in the back. Well, I mean, not always. Sometimes they are in the front. I assume this one is in the front. Like when it's a small boat. Or like this, whatever this is, it seems to be in the front. But anyway, I mean, does it look super weird for someone who knows something about boats? Or can we just roll with the fantasy alternative boats? I don't know, I'm gonna keep it this way. Thing is, it was just initially in the composition, and I guess that's not that big of a deal. If anything, we can just remove the steering boat and show that Gilbert is just preparing to get down to the land. Okay, so I guess this is it. This is like 90% of the work on the page. Like, I will do a couple of extra polishing, couple of fixes, couple of straightening up of stuff. But in general, this is it. I just don't want to spend that extra hour without knowing for sure that everything else is cool with Kevin. And with you guys, tell me what you think. Where did I mess up the most? So yeah. The biggest question is about the colors on the totem, because that was totally my own initiative. And, well, the mood in general and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess this is it. And I thank you for watching if you did. I guess you did if you're here. Leave a like and subscribe, tell a friend, go to the beach, do whatever you want. And I will see you in the next one. Bye! Welcome again, my dearest strangers and acquaintances, to another one of my journeys. Well, I nailed the journeys and the accent, right?